Welcome to the ChurchApps podcast.
Free software, built by the church, for the church.
Hey, I'm Michael. This is the ChurchApps podcast. Kari, there's been a lot of ground to cover this month.
There really has. Updates across pretty much every product. The phone app, B1 Admin, Free Show, Free Play. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
The phone app, because B1 has been moving fast. And I think some folks may have noticed a rough patch in March.
Yeah, let's talk about that honestly, because I think it's worth addressing.
So, in March, there were a handful of iOS crashes. The biggest one hit on startup and was tied to a native module integration. It got caught and fixed quickly, but if you were using the app on a newer iOS build during that window, you may have run into it. The team pushed version 3.10 and 3.11 in rapid succession specifically to address those issues.
And now we're at 3.15.
3.15 on iOS just dropped April 10th. So the app has come a long way in a short time. It's solid now.
When something breaks and a team responds that fast, that tells you a lot about how seriously they take it.
Exactly. And honestly, the reason these things get caught quickly is because the community is engaged. People report issues, the team listens. That's what open source looks like when it's working.
Speaking of things in that mobile push, YouVersion, tell me about that.
So YouVersion is the most widely used Bible app in the world, over 500 million downloads. And we've added an integration so B1 Mobile connects with it. The idea is that scripture becomes part of how people engage with their church through the app, rather than something they're switching over to separately.
I like that, because right now people have their church app, their Bible app, their giving app. It's a lot of switching.
That's exactly the problem this starts to solve. The philosophy of ChurchApps has always been that everything should be in one place. The more we can bring together without making people bounce between apps, the better the experience.
All right, let's talk B1 Admin, because there were some things in there for staff teams.
Yeah, so planning tools in B1 Admin, things like service plans and team schedules, used to require full admin access. That's changed. Non-admin staff can now access plans, which is a big deal for a lot of churches.
Because the all-or-nothing access thing is real. You don't necessarily want your worship leader having admin rights to everything, just so they can manage their Sunday plan.
Right. Now your worship leader, your children's director, your small group coordinator, they can work in their area without you handing them the keys to the whole system. There's also a new plan overview that shows upcoming plans across the church in one place with filtering, so you can actually see what's coming without clicking into each one individually.
That's going to save some people a lot of clicking.
And there's one more thing in that same update. When you add someone to a role or a team, they now automatically get an invite email. Before that, you'd add someone and then hope they somehow figured out they'd been added.
That one sounds small, but it's not. That's a real gap that I've seen cause confusion in a lot of churches.
It's one of those things where once it's there, you wonder how it ever worked without it.
Also in B1 Admin, there's a new lightbox feature. What does that mean in plain English?
So, on your church website built with B1, when someone clicks an image, it now opens in a lightbox, meaning it pops up large in the center of the screen instead of just being a static picture. It's a small thing visually, but it makes image galleries and photos feel a lot more polished.
Before we get to Free Show, I want to talk about something that is a really big deal, a new data management section in B1 Admin. This one's been a long time coming.
It really has. So GDPR is the European data privacy law. It's been around since 2018, and the core idea is that individuals have rights over their personal data. They can ask to see it. They can ask to have it removed. And if you're a church storing data about people in Europe, you are legally required to be able to honor those requests. No exceptions.
And church membership data is actually treated as a higher category under GDPR because it reveals someone's religious beliefs, which is considered sensitive information.
Exactly. So we've had churches in the UK, Germany, the Netherlands, across Europe wanting to use ChurchApps. And the honest answer used to be, it's complicated. The tools weren't there to comply with what the law requires. That's changed. In B1 Admin, there's now a data management section on each person's record. Admins can export a member's complete data or anonymize them, which wipes their personal information from the system while preserving things like donation history and attendance records in an unlinked form.
So churches that have been waiting on this, European churches with international reach, they can now actually move forward with ChurchApps.
That's the real headline. This wasn't just a nice-to-have feature request. For a lot of churches, this was the thing standing between them and being able to use the software legally. Now that barrier is gone.
All right, Free Show version 1.6 has been in beta and it just hit beta 4. What's new?
So if you haven't been following the beta releases, 1.6 is a big one. Canva support landed, You can bring Canva presentations directly into FreeShow without exporting or converting. For churches that design their slides in Canva, that workflow just got a lot cleaner.
For anyone who doesn't know, Canva is a free design tool that basically lets anyone make something that looks professional without being a designer. A lot of churches live in it.
And now it talks directly to your presentation software. Beta 4 also brought Planning Center integration improvements, timeline keyframe enhancements if you're doing more complex presentations, and a bunch of memory leak fixes which should help on older hardware.
When does 1.6 go stable?
No official date, but they're on Beta 4 and moving fast. If you want to try it now, the beta is available. Link in the show notes.
Last one, free play. Tell me what this actually is, because I think people hear TV app and picture something different than what it is.
Right, so free play runs on any TV, Android TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and it pulls curriculum from lessons.church and plays it on the screen. That could be a classroom at church, a youth room, an adult Bible study room, really any space where you've got a TV and you want content ready to go. Over 1,100 video-based lessons, nearly 200 studies, every age group, completely free.
And I hadn't thought about this before, but that works for small groups at someone's house too.
Exactly. Someone hosting a small group can put it on their TV and have the curriculum right there. You don't need a projector. You don't need to set anything up. It's just on the screen. And 1.2.4 added smarter content filtering, so the app only shows current and upcoming lessons. You're not digging through old content to find what's relevant right now.
That's a big quality of life improvement, whether you're a teacher at church or someone hosting at home.
And the whole thing is free. The app is free, the curriculum is free, the platform is free. It's a real answer for any group that wants content without the cost.
All right, what's your try it this week, Kari?
Try the new data management tools. Go into B1 Admin, click People, open any person's record, click the edit pencil by their name, and scroll to the bottom. You'll see a data management section. Expand it. You can export their data or anonymize them. If you've had anyone ask about their data, or if you have members in Europe, this is the feature that makes you compliant. Worth knowing it's there before you need it.
Good one. Links are in the show notes. b1.church to get started, support.churchapps.org for docs, and freeshow.app for the presentation software. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.